Hello and welcome to CGTN's live stream. I'm CGTN reporter Zhang Siran. Right now, I'm reporting live from Dandong City in northeast China's Liaoning province. And as Typhoon Khanun gradually moves into China's Liaoning province, local government and communities have taken emergency measures to brace for this extreme weather. And over the next few days, Dandong is likely to experience moderate rain as well as gradually weakening winds. But in today's live stream, we will take you to a walk along the Yalu River, which is also the China-DPRK border, to find out more about these extreme and also emergency measures. So let's dive into the details. We have a special guest in our live stream today. 赵警官您好，跟我们观众朋友们打个招呼吧。
大家好，我是丹东边检站民警赵航。
So Officer Zhao Hang is the police officer at Dandong Accident Entry Inspection Office, and 我们非常就是感谢您今天接受我们的采访哈。那我们首先有一个问题是刚刚给大家介绍了，为了应对卡努，我们也有一些相应的应急的防汛的措施，能不能请您给我们具体介绍一下？
好的，针对台风卡努登陆的实际情况，丹东边检站党委高度重视。第一时间呢，就启动了防汛防台的工作预案，并且及时调整勤务模式，增加巡逻和观察的频次，确保辖区内的游客和群众的安全得到充分保障，并且我们后勤部门也做好了充足的准备，准备了救生绳、救生筏、救生艇，一些防汛的沙袋、铁锹等相关物资和设施，确保我们第一时间能冲得上、打得赢。谢谢，
谢谢赵警官。So Officer Zhao just gave us like a general picture of how the local communities are prepared for Khanun, the tropical storm. You just mentioned that all the officers are here for the patrols to ensure public safety, and also the emergency supplies are in place, including the ropes as well as all the shovels and all the equipments in case for any emergency situations. 谢谢您给我们的介绍，谢谢赵警官。Thank you for your answers. 现在我们就是想带大家去这个江边看一看现在的这个防汛情况。So we are now going for the walk along the Yalu River from this station. And what you're seeing now is actually the China DPRK Friendship Bridge, which is also a landmark here in Dandong. And okay, now we are at the riverside of Yalu River, which you are seeing now. And across the river is the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. And Yalu River, thus, it also serves as the border between China and DPRK. Right now, you're seeing that there will be lots of like sightseeing boats as well as fishing boats, but today they're all temporarily closed and suspended to ensure public safety. And although it's a bit cloudy and a bit gloomy today, but we can still see a lot of tourists along the river as it's still summer vacation and it's a tourist city. But we also see that there's already a lot of precautious measures taken alongside the river. As here you can see it's the offshore or waterside kind of like walks are already closed to the public. Okay, let's go this way. And we actually arrived here yesterday, and I've already talked to the local meteorological observatory as well as the Water Affairs Bureau for more details on the emergency measures taken to brace for Tropical Storm Khanun. And the local weather officials told me that it should have already moved into China's Liaoning province last night. And we have experienced a little bit drizzling last afternoon, but right now it stopped and it's just a bit cloudy here in Dandong, the border city of China and DPRK. And as the tropical storm Khanun gradually moves into China, it's expected to cause more heavy rains across the region in northeast China, especially the Jilin and Heilongjiang provinces. And actually on Thursday, Heilongjiang province has issued 2 red alerts for rainstorms, which is also the highest level in China's warning system. And according to the weather forecast, many cities there are expected to receive rainfall ranging from 40 to over 100 millimeters. Okay, from here we're at the other side of the bridge. And also you can see the bridge that's next to this railway one is actually one for the visitors. And I think it's called like literally broken bridge because we only have this half starting from China, stretching from China that's remained due to the war against U.S. aggression and aid Korea in 1950s. And so you can see now there's no visitor or travelers on it for the sightseeing experience. It's because it's already closed temporarily due to the weather conditions. And maybe a little bit details of the emergency measures taken here in Dandong city of Liaoning province. Yesterday we learned that last week over 2,000 fishing boats which should be along the river have already been recalled to the harbor for shelter. And currently all the offshore fishing operations and passenger transport have been suspended. And all the tourist attractions, including the one we're at now along the rivers, have been also temporarily closed for now. And especially all the sightseeing boats, which should be cruising on the river now, have also been suspended temporarily. These are all the measures to ensure public safety. Now we're at one of the docks for the sightseeing boats, as you can see from our footage, and they're all taking shelter at the harbor, and it's not in service for all the visitors and travelers. Oh, maybe we can also go check out the box office here. It's actually just to my right here. Visitors used to queue here for the tickets to go up the bridge, but now, as you can see, it's already temporarily closed. And yeah, I think all the visitors here will only have a chance to actually visit the bridge and to go up there after the tropical storm has dissipated. So yeah, now we're seeing this announcement in Chinese saying that due to weather conditions, this site is temporarily closed. And we still don't have an exact date of when it's going to reopen to the public. But now it's actually luckily to see that all the vendors as well as all the shops are still in okay operation alongside the river. But I guess they're already warned that there's this tropical storm coming, and as we learned in the first interview, that all the patrols by police officers here are strengthened, and especially in frequency to alert and to evacuate all the residents and visitors if needed. And we just checked out the box office of this broken bridge, and the same thing goes to this dock for sightseeing boats. That's what we are seeing now. This is the first dock of the sightseeing boats on the Yalu River. And we can also see that the ticket office here is also closed temporarily. And here we can also see the route of this boat, that it actually goes, because we are around here along the Yalu River, and then these are the two bridges we just passed. So this sightseeing boat should have been cruising on the river like all the way around. Like it's a tour along the China DPRK border, but now it says here that it's temporarily closed, also due to weather conditions. So yeah, this is where the visitors will buy their tickets and then step onto the sightseeing boats from here. Now we're seeing that all these facilities have been suspended. Oh, and actually we can see the marks of water level just on the two sides of the boats from here. And we can see the water level is, we're not experts here, but should be a bit higher than usual. And also from that direction is DPRK. That's where tropical storm Khanun, which used to be Typhoon Khanun, moved into China's Liaoning province. And just a bit background information here is currently China has activated its level 4 emergency response against Khanun, which is also the lowest on the 4-tier scale. And here in Liaoning province, flood and typhoon prevention efforts are already in place to brace for this extreme weather or possible heavy rains. Also from here, we're seeing another dock for sightseeing boats from here. And also there's like a tourist center-like building, also in Korean style. We can also see that it's closed to public temporarily, and all the sightseeing boats and also I guess maybe like cruising ships are now in harbor to take shelter. Wow, and also a bit detail is actually here on the handle and also on the ground. You can see it's still a bit wet from last night's rain. It's also a bit wet because of the rain. Yes, because we were here to do the interviews yesterday's afternoon as well as last night, and we did experience a bit drizzle and winds. So yes, so today the road surface is still wet from last night's rain. Oh, and also a bit more detail. And also we're seeing those escape ropes and also like all the emergency supplies are in place at the dock. And let's just hope that we won't be using them. Now, also a bit recap from my interview yesterday, because I talked to the local weather officials, and they told me that Khanun, which used to be a typhoon, yesterday it was moving north over the Korean Peninsula, which is just the direction across the river, and it was a tropical storm. And after its moving into China's Liaoning province last night, it has already weakened to a tropical depression. And they told me yesterday that there was this possibility that it may dissipate near the China-DPRK border, which I think did happen last night, because this morning when we checked all the weather forecast, Khanun has already disappeared from all the numbering system of typhoon, which means that it's already weakened. And they also told me that over the next few days here in Dandong city, the border city between China and DPRK, is also likely to experience moderate rain as well as winds, but which should all be gradually weakening. And for those of you who just joined our live stream, we're here in Dandong City in northeast China's Liaoning province. And we're now walking just beside the Yalu River, which also serves as the border between China and the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. And also a bit recap from our interviews here yesterday, because we did talk to other officials from the Water Affairs Bureau, which is also in charge of all the emergency measures taken. And they've made a detailed guideline, I think include work in like 12-ish aspects of all the emergency management areas. And I think the highlights is that they said here in Dandong, like throughout last week, over 2,000 fishing boats were recalled, and they are now in the harbor to take shelter. And all the offshore fishing operations by the local residents, as well as passenger transports on the river, are now stopped. And moreover, like the tourist sites which we're at now, they're all alongside the waters, and they're now temporarily suspended and closed to the public. And especially the sightseeing boats, which we're seeing now, they're all in the harbor to take shelter and are suspended. And these are all the various ways taken by from the local government and community to safeguard people's safety. And I think all of our viewers were like just people outside this region are all very concerned about Typhoon Doksuri last week, and also its aftermath here in northeast China. So definitely attention is also on the damaged crops across the region here in northeast China. And from all of our interviews, I can say that what is certain is that the floods from Typhoon Doksuri and Khanun will have impacts on the harvest in autumn, as this region is just quite crucial for the agricultural production here in China. And especially in Heilongjiang province, where we just left, efforts are being made there to quickly drain water from the fields. And if soaked in the flood water for too long, those rice plants are also prone to pest and disease infestations. And thus, experts believe that that timely application of fertilizer and pesticides is also one of the best ways to ensure the rice yields later on in this region. And as we have already shared with you guys earlier, that this typhoon, or now tropical storm Khanun, is also set to cause heavy rains in Jilin and Heilongjiang provinces. With some areas there are likely to experience even rainstorms. And on this Thursday, Heilongjiang province issued 2 red alerts for rainstorms, which is also the highest level in China's warning system. According to the weather forecast, many cities there are expected to receive rainfall ranging from 40 to over 100 millimeters. And I guess that's a bit sad news to a lot of people in this region, because they're still recovering from the aftermath of Typhoon Doksuri, and now there is this new round of heavy rains forecasted. And I believe all the emergency and also measures and responses are in place in there. Hello， 小姐姐，你们好！你们是在这边玩的是吗？我们是那个央视英语频道，就是做一个直播，然后想看你们一直在这边拍照，想简单问一问你们是从哪里过来这边玩的？
我们就是本地人。
哦，那就
的，
那就
朋友来玩。
所以是 Okay, so we just met these very beautiful ladies here along the Yalu River, and they're here for a sightseeing experience. So we thought we just can have a bit chat with them. 那你们是从哪里来？
沈阳。
So she came to hear from Shenyang for a visit to these two friends. 今天怎么会就是带她看看丹东的？
想让他感受一下丹东的文化，眺望一下鸭绿江，看看朝鲜。
这个就那个，那你们知道就是昨天因为有点下雨嘛，
对，因为台风
影响。
对，今天天气还不错，
就没有影响你们出行。
没有，完全没有。
哦，那太好了，注意安全，谢谢。We just had a chance to talk to some locals here, and they're saying they're here with a friend from Shenyang, and she traveled here, I think, yesterday, and they took her here for like an experience just alongside the river and also a view across the river. And I did ask if the rain and also the winds from yesterday bothered them, but they're saying the weather is okay and it didn't actually have interrupted their itinerary or their previous plannings. And here we have actually just walked to, this is the border marked China DPRK border. So it's definitely one of the landmark here in Dandong city of Liaoning province. Okay, so that's pretty much it for our walk this morning here along the Yalu River, as we have already seen the China DPRK Friendship Bridge, the Broken Bridge, as well as the border site between China and DPRK. And we did show you some of the details of the emergency measures taken here by the local government and communities to brace for the possible hit of Khanun. And I guess we are quite lucky here to see that all the measures are in place and also all the emergency responses are here for all the local residents and visitors if needed. So we will also be here to reporting for more details, also more updates of Khanun here in Dandong city of Liaoning province. So please stay tuned on CGTN, and thank you very much for watching, and bye for now.